Hi Slim, thank you very much for speaking to us today.
Pleasure.
Could you give us your opinion on which asset classes you think will play a bigger role in the MENA region in the next 12 months, let's say?
Next 12 months, that's very short term in my own read. I think, equities, I don't see, for example, infrastructure playing much of a role. That's more for long-term play. Fixed income has shown some resilience, generally speaking, in the region. But I am biased towards equities, and as a business and as an individual, we are more of equity experts, so we have a bias towards equities within the global scene, but particularly in the emerging and frontier market space. Within MENA, we like the equity space. Frankly, we have 20% exposure to MENA equities in the frontier market strategy we run.
Do you think that will change? Do you think alternatives will come into play a bit more?
Alternatives. Well, if you mean hedge fund type of exposure, then we are structurally bullish on the emerging and frontier market space, including the MENA region, despite what's going on. We can touch on the political side of things in the North Africa in terms of adjustment revolution. But so we don't want to cap the upside, and we struggle to see, to find certainly very many credible hedge fund managers who could deliver the returns year in, year out, and protect on the downside. So the reality, and as a fund-of-fund player, we are in the business of selecting fund managers. Actually, there are not very many, people in the MENA space with a long-term track record, let alone hedge fund managers in the MENA space. So it's a matter also of universe and accessibility.
Of course, yes.
So the bulk of the universe that we're interested in is long-only, managers who have done it through more than a cycle. They've done a bull market and a bear market. Some people are very good in bull markets, and you want to see how they handle the downside. So alternatives would have a space for some, but not for us at this stage anyways.
Okay, and what should fund managers do, or can they do, to help promote growth in the MENA region?
I'm wearing two hats here. I'm wearing the hat of a fund manager myself, investing in the emerging and frontier market space, and we have been certainly investing in the region, trying to build relationship. It is relationship based, so the ideal thing is to have a local presence here, which we don't have yet, but we have partners in Saudi Arabia, so that we think gives us a bit of an edge. Now, people who are here, the fund managers who are here, again, it's early days. The fund management business in the MENA region is still embryonic, and we've seen it elsewhere. We've seen it in Brazil. We've seen it in other emerging markets. We've seen it in the developed world. It takes a bit of time. So patience is important. Being long term and investing in resources. It is, there is a return on investment to be generated, to be looked forward to, and that's, so those are the two hats I'm wearing. From a business point of view, we'd love to grow our business in the Middle East. It is a region you cannot ignore. It's a no-brainer to be trying some efforts and initiatives in the Middle East. But on the other hand, from a fund manager's point of view and selecting managers globally, we'd love to see more fund managers, both long only and long short. But I think again, we are structurally bullish, so we struggle to see why you'd cut the upside in the long term. Tactically, in the short term, yes, it'd be fantastic. It'd be nice to have someone running a long short, delivering the double-digit return that you usually promise, and then protecting the downside. But that's easy said than done. And shorting is not that easy, anyways. I mean, this is still.
But also, can I just swing you to the Eurozone crisis and what impact is this going to have on your industry?
Well, there's global turmoil with the Eurozone at the heart of it, I think. And it's one of those years, where you had the adjustment revolution kick off at the beginning of the year, and that's affected the whole of the Middle East, North Africa region because of contagion. Even though we have very strong views, we don't think, what's happened in Tunisia and Egypt and elsewhere should, result in the same in Qatar, for example. There and now, there's huge differences between the countries and between the dynamics of each country, the political, social, economic, and financial level. But the Eurozone is the biggest dark cloud we have out there in the horizon. There's another big dark cloud, that's the US. It's not like the US is out of the woods. And then all of a sudden that seems to have implications on the global growth and therefore China. So the clouds have gathered and they've darkened. But we remain optimistic, generally speaking. Optimistic about the medium long-term outlook for the world and the emerging,
yes.
but the developed world is bound to face some tough
yes.
and challenging years for the next 5 years at least, which reinforces the case for diversifying out of the developed and Western world
course, yes.
into the emerging frontier and the MENA region, and be selective. The MENA region, Middle East, North Africa, goes from Morocco to here
yes.
in the Gulf. And if you're selective from the top down, and most importantly, you have the right people doing the stock picking at the bottom up, then it's a cyclical setback. Whatever happens with Europe, something, whether it's positive or negative.
Recover eventually.
Well, yes, and you have to look through. I mean, hopefully it's sorted out in a more positive way,
yes.
so that we don't go into Armageddon type of scenario,
exactly.
like 08 or 09. That is not to be ruled out. Touch wood, hopefully we don't go down that route.
Yes.
But we are at the mercy of policymakers.
Yes.
And
excellent.
hopefully the common sense will prevail.
That's really interesting, Slim. Thank
Pleasure.
you so much for your time on that.
Pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you.